today we are doing a microphone shootout. And the two contestants are on my left here. We have the Rode NT1, and this is the black matte edition as opposed to the earlier silver gen model. And this one comes in at $269 US, and also included in the package are an awesome shock mount and really high-grade steel pop filter as well that comes included, all for $269. On my right over here, we have the Neumann TLM 103, a classic studio workhouse. And this one comes in at 5 times the price of the Rode, a little over $1,100. And in the package, it does not include a pop filter or shock mount as well. So you do have to buy those at an additional cost. So I thought I would do a quick test of these guys, kind of A/B the two microphones on acoustic guitar today. So you can kind of see the differences and whether the price of the Neumann justifies the quality difference between the two. We'll definitely be doing a vocal test for both male and female vocals on these microphones as well, but today is acoustic guitar. So we're gonna hop right in. So we are in Pro Tools now, looking at our tracks that we recorded, and we're going to do some A/B testing comparisons between the two microphones, the Rode and the Neumann. You'll notice that I do have two Infinity EQs from Slate that are loaded onto each one of these tracks. We're not doing any EQing. These are completely raw files. However, we're just using the spectrum analyzer on these EQs just to see how each of the microphones reacts differently to the acoustic guitar. So without any further ado, we're going to hop on in here and listen to these samples. So which is better, the Rode or the Neumann? I, for one, was quite surprised with how well the affordable Rode NT1 did against the Neumann. When you consider the huge price difference between the two, and too the legend that Neumann has had for untold decades, it's quite remarkable. The comparison between the two. Again, the Neumann does cost about 5 times as much as the Rode, and so depending on your budget, that is a consideration. To be thinking about. Is it worth the investment for you in particular to spend the grand on the Neumann, or would you be better suited for the more affordable alternative that will allow you to, again, invest in other pieces of your studio? There are definitely some tonal differences between these two microphones. They are fairly similar, but there are some differences. And so one of those in the Rode that I was hearing is kind of a little bit of puffiness in the mid-range, kind of the low mids around like 250 to 300. And if you look at the frequency response on that microphone, it does have a little bit of a boost down there. Also, additionally, there is a lot more boosting in the high mids and kind of that really bright section and kind of the 10K area on the Rode that a lot of affordable microphones kind of do in that price range. They kind of do a little bit of a hype in the higher end, and it gives it a little bit more of a bright sheen. The Neumann is kind of smooth all the way up until it does, again, a little boost up in the 10K kind of area. With that, you'll notice in the Neumann, tonally, it just sounds a lot more smooth. A lot of that puffiness that I was hearing in the Rode kind of just disappeared on the Neumann. It didn't pick it up as much from the guitar into the Neumann. And so right away, between the two, I would honestly pick the Neumann just raw over the Rode just because of that. Now, again, with EQ, you can totally fix that on the Rode and bring those two very similar in tone. But what I've noticed just from using the two of the microphones, because this is something that a lot of people I don't think talk about, because yes, obviously you can go in and tweak with EQ to kind of make two different microphones sound fairly similar. But the thing that I've noticed in the Neumann is because when you're capturing that kind of smooth with a very smooth frequency response, whenever you're boosting in EQ, it's a lot smoother. It ends up sounding a lot softer on the ear. Whereas when I'm boosting with the Rode, everything just sounds a little bit more harsh and brittle when I'm boosting and using additive EQ in the Rode. With the Neumann, it just sounds kind of buttery smooth. I can do like a fairly decent bump with an EQ in the Neumann, and it doesn't adversely affect it as much as I would say the Rode does. But again, there's things to work around with these, both of these microphones with EQ. And again, that's really what you have to ask yourself at the end of the day is, what's your budget? Can you afford to spend the amount on the Neumann? Or would you be better suited, again, spending a little, like significantly less on the Rode and investing into other pieces of your studio with that? So that's kind of my thought process on it. Again, we're going to be doing some vocal shootouts on both of these microphones for male and female vocals very soon here. So definitely stay tuned for that. But I hope you enjoyed this look at the comparison of these two microphones. These are huge standards in the recording world, both of these microphones. And so if you enjoyed this video, definitely leave me a comment and a like. And let me know your thoughts. What differences did you hear between these microphones? And which one do you like better? And as always, if you could please subscribe to the channel, I appreciate it so much. And that enables you to stay tuned on any future updates and videos that I post in the future. So stay tuned for the next episode in this series, the shooting out of these two microphones, and I will see you next time.